What's up? This is me filming back-to-back intros. If I look identical to the last video, that is why. Okay, so today we're doing a thrift haul, and this is something I want to do, like collective thrift hauls, because I thrift always, and I think I will thrift always from now until forever. I do it for my business, I do it for personal, and ever since, I want to say like 1 to 2 years ago, probably closer to 2 years, I challenged myself to quit shopping retail as much as possible. So if there was something that I could not get secondhand, thrifted, or Poshmark, or ThredUp, or eBay, secondhand in any market, then I would give myself permission to get it retail. So for me, what inspired that challenge to myself was when I watched The True Cost here on YouTube. I believe it's originally on Netflix, but I found it on YouTube, and I was very inspired to make changes. That's also the same day I got rid of my credit card to a major fast fashion brand that I'd been wanting to part ways with for a while, but I just needed like that extra nudge or I guess just that little bit of fire lit to where I could make the change. And watching that documentary was very eye-opening for me. I knew a lot of things, but there's so much more that I want to learn. Highly recommend it for anybody that doesn't know a lot about fast fashion, like how the garment workers are treated in other countries and how overconsumption of fast fashion and donating it at just as rapid of pace as we're consuming it, how that's affecting other people in other countries, including in our own country, in our environment. It was just a really good documentary. And I've ever since then started seeking out ways to educate myself more on the matter. And so this is why I shop secondhand. This is the main motivation at this point. And then the added bonus is it just goes with my financial goals. I want to work towards travel as I get older. I don't want to stay in one location for now until the rest of my life. I want to travel to other countries. I want to explore the world when Nico gets older. And so I have to start squirreling away money now so that that becomes a thing in the future versus just buying a bunch of crap I don't need, especially paying the inflated retail prices and then supporting an industry that I don't really believe in anymore. So yeah, okay. So all that to say, now that I'm doing a lot more thrifting, I thought it would be kind of cool to do collective thrift hauls and show you pieces that I'm going to sell online on Poshmark and eBay, but also the pieces that I thrift for myself or Nico or for our home that I'm excited about and I want to share. So that's what we're doing today. Let's get right into the thrift haul. I have a bunch of stuff. If these were my size, I would definitely keep these. The leather is so soft. I haven't cleaned these yet, but these are a pair of Stuart Weitzman boots, and I'm very picky with this brand, but I absolutely love this style with the square toe. This, I believe, is real fur. It feels genuine. And then the inside is, it looks like I just need to clean the soles, but these are a size 9B. All right, this is my first time finding this brand, Jack McConnell. It's a vintage hat brand. I love the drama of this hat, how unusual it is. Looks like something a supervillain, a stylish supervillain would wear in like a movie or show. So I was so excited to finally thrift a robe for myself to wear at home because I love, something you might not know about me is like I love the texture of velvet. And whenever velvet goes out of style, I still have lots of it because in my opinion, it's classic. So this was perfect. It's my favorite color, black, and it's got the white piping right here. And yeah, I like to wear it with really slinky, like little slips underneath. Velvet plus satin plus lace. Perfect for home lounging. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, this actually goes down this long. And see, I think this looks really cute with just a little bit of the leopard nightie peeking out. And it takes a little bit of the kind of grandma-esque energy or older person energy out of it by putting something like really slinky on underneath, and it feels amazing. So this one I actually am not keeping for myself because I'm not a big gold person, and you can see it has kind of this gold coloring here. I'll come in closer and show you the details. Okay, so can you see that? Oh, it has this quilting here. And then even look at the zipper, and that's a tip too. Check the zippers on vintage stuff. Why did I do that while I have the camera in my hand? Check the zippers on vintage stuff. Well, all stuff, but the devils and the details. That's a horrible saying. But look, this cool tassel metal zip. I love that. And you can see the piping. Understated, yet very pretty. But this actually zips from like right here where you see the zipper all the way up. But I just like how it looks open. I think it's so pretty. And this would be perfect for somebody who has a really cold winter and fall. This would be so cozy. I'm a sucker for vintage Vanity Fair, but it seems like every time I get a Vanity Fair piece, it is a vintage piece, and I just think they're kind of classic. Okay, so this piece is a vintage Kathy Lee. It has the side slits on both sides. Why do my calves look ginormous? Warning, if you ever play soccer, your calves never decrease in size. Look at that. Okay, back on track. So my idea for this one is I wouldn't wear it like this. I definitely wouldn't, but what I think I would like is one of those classic little jumper dresses, and I don't think I want to cut it super short. I think I want to be able to move freely in it and not worry about flashing or being, you know, any exposure of any kind. But what I don't like is if I don't wear shapewear under this, I look all lumpy and stuff. So I'm thinking I want to keep this flower border and cut right at this border and then hem, and so the hem will be right about here, and that'll leave a little zebra under the flower. And I'm just really into zebra lately, and this zebra caught my eye. I love this almost like an orangey brown tone, and then I just think that would be really easy to throw on in the summer. I'm trying to push myself outside of my comfort zone, and so I think that would put the length, let's see, it's hitting right there. So I think it would be somewhere like there, which would that be an awkward length? I don't know. We'll just have to do it. And if it is awkward, then I'll just cut off that flower trim, which I'm not like married to that anyway, but yeah. So that's the idea. So yeah, let's get on that. Okay, so I don't love this length on me. It's still too baggy also. So I think I can either post it as is for somebody else that it would fit, or shorten it for myself and then take it in on the sides. So I'm just kind of seeing what it would look like if I shortened it. I don't know yet. Moving on. Next, I found this very vibrant striped vintage fabric, most of which I'm keeping to make things with, but some of which I listed as a tablecloth. So fun. I'm excited to see what I come up with for this. Okay, so this is either vintage or antique ornament. Look how cool it looks just hanging from a fan. Or you could hang it on like a dresser knob. That would be cute. I love it as anything but an ornament. I think it's too cool to just have for only Christmas. And it looks to be handmade. I have to look it up, but it doesn't match anything here. So I'm going to put it up on Poshmark, but I'm even considering trying to make some of these for just to have more of them, like for selling. I don't know what they use to make this top part, but other than that, I think I can make them, and I just really love this. Here's another idea for it. Put it on one of these vintage hangers, and how cute does that look? I love it. Here's a random one. You see this little teacup, and then I put the little green thing in there just for now. I'm playing around with what I want to keep in there. But then I have this little lion one. I actually got this lion one when I went out on a day trip with Nico. And then I got that little ice cream one and that one. And I'm actually going to put a DIY that I have in mind here. I'll put a picture up of the inspiration and I'm going to put those in there. And then if you can see, I've got these rotating things. And then I'm going to store inventory on that. And then this will be like a shelf in my office. Well, this is a shelf in my office. Let's see. Alright, so this is a vintage belt and it just loops here in the front. And then here's another one. And for anybody who doesn't know, I'm focusing a lot more on accessories, both ones I can make and thrift to sell. I love the little elephant. I think this is vintage, but it might be modern, and I believe it's just Chico's. But I do kind of like some of their belts a lot, and they do okay. I just like them. I discovered those when I found a few for myself, and I really loved them, and then I started grabbing them to sell sometimes too. Here's another one. This isn't Chico's, but this is like a vintage one. Sorry, this is kind of a wonky little thing. I'm actually going to take this one, I think, off the belt and rework it. I might try to sell it as it is. It's on like this stretchy, here, let's lay it down. It's just on this like stretchy black velvet. But what drew me in was the belt loops, or the belt buckle. I got 4 of these, and I got these at the antique place too. Not everything they had was antique, and I'm sure these probably weren't. I know they weren't, but they're just adorable. A set of 4 napkin holders, but I just want to use little bunny ears and add them onto like hats or other little DIY projects. I just like the ears, so I'm going to add those to my craft stash. I love this one. This is a vintage lion head. See how it's got the double lion head as the buckle, and it's got this snake chain belt. It has something printed on it, but I don't think it's a brand, so I'm just going to list it as vintage unbranded. But I love selling lion heads in general, and Klein does a lot of the vintage ones I end up finding. I'll just show you one of these. I put several more in storage, but these are curtain ties, I think. But what I use them for, and what I'm going to use them for, is for little decorative elements on things. So I just put these in my bins and I use them for crafting supplies. I love the sheen on this. It's kind of like a real light sage green color. And I'm kind of thinking this might end up getting upcycled into part of a belt, but we'll see. So I'm going to put that in the belt bin along with the others till I decide for sure. And then I got, I think, four or 5 of these little tea kettles. They don't have the lid, but that didn't bother me because I think I'm going to use them to store things. That's what I was originally thinking, but I also think I'm going to sell some of them and maybe keep one for myself. So I'll probably sell 3 or 4 and then keep one. It says made in Thailand, but they're really light. I felt like they were aluminum, but I love how sparkly these are, and I like that kind of pattern on it, like a 3D pattern. And yeah, I'm really always going to love black and silver, so that's kind of a weakness for me. It was black and silver. And let me get the little one. Okay, now don't you see? One's bigger, one's little, and I just think they'd make a cute little decorative set. You could put little cactuses, you could put plants in them, you could put, like, I'm going to use a little one and I'm going to store my makeup brushes in it. But yeah, I really like those. I forgot to show you these, so let me show you really quick. I think this is actually an antique, but I'm going to look more into it. It's just really interesting. The fabric, how they laid it on like that, and the ends almost need an ironing, but I'm going to sell it like this because I'm afraid I might damage it if I try to make it look perfect. And I think in the case of this, once it's on a lamp, it's this kind. It just clips onto the light bulb. I think once it's on a lamp, I'll just ignore all my scars. Once it's on a lamp, I think that it'll just look really cool. I don't think that'll necessarily be that big of an issue. I don't know, something about it just kind of drew me in. I've never sold lampshades, so that'll be an experiment. These, lately I've been kind of obsessed with these sort of metal tassel, almost like rope detailing, but it's metal. And then I love the colors on this. I love how that blue-green kind of pops out. And it's just a set. It doesn't have a make or anything, so I'll have to do research. But this is, let me just insert some pictures if this isn't. Okay. Okay, so let me show you this thrift find. What I really love about it is these kind of almost look like thorns on the stem there. There is no maker. How I pick up metal pieces are if I like the shape of them and the weight of the metal. Like in this case, I wanted it to be a nice weight because whatever I put up there, I don't want to have to worry about it falling over and whatnot. So as you may know, I've even said it today, I'm not a gold person. Not that I don't think this is beautiful, it won't match any of my other decor, so I could try to sell it as is, but part of me wants to keep it for myself, so that's probably what I'm going to do. I'll think about it and then decide, but if I keep it for myself, I'm going to paint it either black or like a dark silver color, just so it'll go with everything that I already have. And that's a tip for if you're out thrifting, try to see things for their shape, not so much their color, because you can always change the color of something and completely redo the whole look of it. Yeah, so that's that. So Nico went with me to the antique store that was closing, and he wanted some fancy glasses for himself. So this, and then I'll show you the other ones he picked, were his final choices. It was funny because he kept saying, these aren't fancy enough, until he found these ones, and these are the ones he really liked. I just think it's so cute to see him drinking out of his fancy glasses, and they are actually pretty cool. I want to find a few for myself that I like now. But I like the idea of having kind of mismatched like sets. And these are the glasses I found I want to use them to do some DIYs and use them as sort of like eclectic containers to just store random things like needles, craft supplies, whatever. I just love the shape of them, and I think I want to paint them different colors, but I haven't decided yet. And then an added bonus is this ice cream one is almost identical to this concept that I want to try from my Pinterest board. And I'm like thrifting these concepts that I've curated on my like vision Pinterest board. So I'm excited for that. And I found this Virgin Mary, which I don't have a lot of religious decor, but I love this flower crown on top of her head and how neutral and kind of understated this is. I guess that's not true. I have several crosses, but this is the first Mary that has really appealed to me, and I was just so thrilled to thrift it. This was my first time finding these really old school hats. Like, I have several in this haul, but this one just is meant to kind of sit on the back of your head, and it originally had tulle on the front, which I had to remove because it was too old, but yeah, it's just really pretty, even without the tulle. This is why I'm glad I do these creative type videos, because look, as I was filming that last clip, I came across this, which we can put this in the thrift haul. It's these crochet things, but look how it's stained. This is after washing. I'm not interested in the netting. I'm interested in the flowers. I want to pull these off. Speaking of the flowers, like here's one that I cut out of this. It's like one of those doily things, and I just like to use them individually, like even cutting the flower itself, but I left the green around that one. I think I'm gonna sew it onto like the top of a hat, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with all these. I just like them. I like the flower part. So here I just opened up some of these, as they say, wing feathers. This estate sale, the man had like, you wouldn't believe how many of these bags he had. I thought there was only like 3 in each bag, so I even bought a ton of bags, and I just brought up 4 to show you. But yeah, I guess they have quite a few in each bag. There's like 8 or 9, so it'll be interesting to see what I can figure out to make with these. And then I also grabbed a few of these plain straw hats. I want to decorate them. And then I purchased these crochet items whenever I can. I really like the crochet flowers too, and the fruits, because I feel like I can turn these into maybe like little bags or even the pocket on something. I don't know, they just kind of inspire me because I can't crochet, but I like the idea of adding this detail onto things for just kind of like a whimsical vintage little pop, you know? All right, you're gonna think I'm a little nutty for this one, but I got not 1, but 2 of these serving tray stands. And that's what it looks like on the side. So this was kind of, I think this is a cool way to have kind of a nod to like my history, which most all of my young adult life I was waiting tables, and I actually enjoyed it for a really long time until I got heavy into the drugs and alcohol that kind of seemed to go a lot with those jobs. So I just thought these can be little makeshift tables like when I'm crafting or whatever, and I just want to have my projects here, and then I can just fold them up when I'm not using them. And an added bonus, if I ever get tired of these, they do have a good value resale for like the vintage wood ones like this. I would probably have to disclose quite a bit though, because this is quite worn. So that is all. If you haven't been to your local thrift store, go see what you can find. I got this at the antique store that was closing, and it was actually in their kitchen. But I love that. All right, see you later.